Hi there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I wanted to bring you a video to introduce my product of the week. Now, if you followed me for any time, I do one of these videos each and every week. However, this week is going to be a little bit different. So if you are a regular follower of mine, you may have seen on my blog on Friday, September 7th, that I have a new collaboration in the works, and it is called Creativity Without Borders, and I am working with Kelly Atchison. And for our first month, well, to back up a little bit, back up the bus, we are creating a monthly online class to go, and this month we are featuring the Come Together suite. So if you live in the US, you will order from Kelly, and if you live in Canada, you will order from me. And for $46 Canadian, you will get a half pack of the DSP, the full 2 spools of the Come Together ribbon combo pack, and the full package of the Tags and Feathers elements. You will also get a video and written tutorial to make 2 each of 4 different cards. So you'll be making 8 cards, and then if you look at our blog post from Friday, there are 2 additional cards, 1 each. So that is $46, and if you want to add the bundle to that, then you can add another $63, and that's all taxes and shipping included. If you would like to do that, there is a form on my website, and I will put the link below. All you have to do is click there, and I will send you a PayPal invoice, and the cutoff to order is September 13th. Lucky Friday the 13th, and kits will ship on September 21st, on or before. At which point you will get the link to the video, you will have the email with the written instructions, you'll have everything. So because that is a great special already, I'm not offering something on top of that, but I am still going to do my video on Monday and then my Facebook Live on Wednesday. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to create something Christmassy out of this one. So if you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see for my Creating for Christmas video on Friday, please let me know. Oh, and if you are local, my class on this coming Saturday, the 14th, is the Come Together suite. So if you live locally and you want all of this, then you can attend my class. Just send me an email at stampedaf@gmail.com, or head on over to Facebook and you will see this event listed on my Facebook page, Stamped AF. So I think that is all for now, so let's get our craft on. Okay, now I had an idea in my head. I tried recording a video and I ran out of storage, so I've at least worked out the details. So this is what I was going to make. This was kind of the idea I had in my head. If you can see that scripty folder, we're going to do a variation of this. It's going to be a little bit different this time, a little more depth, because right now it's like a 2-layer card, but there's no dimension or anything. So let's get this project going. Okay, so what we need to do is we're going to take this down to 5 1/4. Using I should show you the stamp set, shouldn't I? This is Gathered Together, and there are some gorgeous dies in here. So we're not going to use those dies right off the hop. So in the Rooted in Nature, I'm so sorry about that glare, there is a cute little maple leaf here. Actually, I lied. In the Colorful Seasons, there's a cute little maple leaf. This one's kind of a funny one. It doesn't come up enough at the top for my liking. So if you have the Colorful Seasons, and I think most people out there do, we're going to use that beautiful maple leaf, and I'm going to die cut 1, 2, 3 if they'll fit, and I'm going to turn them around each time. You don't like these little lines. I despise them. So what I tend to do is I will use an embossing folder, usually the subtle one, because it gives a very nice subtle effect, as the name would imply, and it also gets rid of those lines. But we are going to use a different one this time. We are going to use the new Scripty embossing folder. This is from the annual catalog. and it's got beautiful nature-inspired text, and it is one of the new 3D embossing folders. So you are going to need to use the 3D embossing plate or adjust your die cutting sandwich as necessary. So this was a double-pronged effect. We didn't entirely get rid of those lines, but it sure did take away from them, didn't it? You could just do it like that and it would look stunning. But we are going to go a little further, my friends. So we are going to take this stamp this stamp. Now when I tried this the first time, I was hoping to use this to get that texture in there, but it isn't the right size. It's close, but not quite. So we're going to use this stamp, and we're going to do some tone-on-tone stamping using these 3 colors: Mossy Meadow, Terracotta Tile, and Crushed Curry. And this will give us kind of that veiny texture that we want. Okay, so there's our Crushed Curry. Next is Terracotta Tile, and that is one of this year's in colors. The other thing I would like to mention while I'm doing this is if you are local in Winnipeg or the surrounding area, my upline and one of her sidelines and I are doing a holiday Stampin' Bingo on Saturday, September 21st, and I still have a couple of seats available. So if you would like to attend and win some amazing prizes from the new holiday catalog, just send me an email or respond to the Facebook event. It's Holiday Stampin' Bingo or Holiday Bingo, and we would love to have you there. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we'll kind of line it up so it matches. Now, one other thing we could do, and something I did on my first go around, is with our ink pad that I've now put away, using a sponge dauber, just dab off some of that color and then add a little bit of depth in there. And then you can make it look ombre. Adds a whole layer of depth that you don't necessarily expect. So we'll do that with the other 2 colors as well. Sometimes I'm too efficient and I clean up too fast, and then I don't have what I need because I've already put it away. Okay, so Crushed Curry. And we're just going to go at the end of the stem here. Add as much or as little as you would like. I haven't actually started ones for the new in colors, so there is a brand new one for my Terracotta Tile. Oops. You see, I got a little bit of Crushed Curry on there. When using a sand eraser, you can get them on Amazon, just go very lightly. Because you don't want to take the finish off of your paper, but look, you can barely see it. Let's close that up before I do that again. Now, to get these underneath, cut it bigger than you think is necessary, because it will be easier to cut it down than to add more. That is perfect. And we're gonna pop it up on dimensionals this time because I said last time it was a little too flat. This needed some dimension other than just this. Okay, so for these ones, we can just take this and go around there. You can use a paper cutter, you don't have to use scissors. We're going old school. Something like that. There we go, and then we can just decide which one we want where. I do not want it to look like a stoplight. Okay, this one we might end up trimming down just a little bit. Something like that. It's a little finicky. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but it's not coming to me right now. Okay, we're gonna put a whole ton of dimensionals on here. There. No one but us will ever be the wiser. Okay, so you can see where I didn't quite get it on center there, but no big deal. Doesn't have to be perfect. Anyone receiving a handmade card, I sure hope they don't expect perfection. It should be all about the sentiment, right? The thought behind it. Okay, now we're gonna add a little bit of bling. And we're going to use some of the, oh, maybe not. Just looking at the sentiments. And on the first card you saw that I used the "So glad to have you in my life," but I'm thinking maybe we should do "Season of Thanks." I think maybe we'll just use a stitched nested die. And what color shall we use? How about a little bit of Sahara sand? You could heat emboss that, but I want to show you yet one more new product, and that is the Delicata ink. So I have it in silver and copper right now, and I think we're going to use the copper. So this is a pigment ink, so it dries a little bit slower. It's kind of like Versamark that way. Sorry if my head's in there. So this does take a minute to dry, but it washes right off. I just have a baby wipe over here. Isn't that beautiful? And from what I understand, you can put the refills for this, because they come with refills, in a Stampin' Spritzer, and it will work like the shimmer paint. Speaking of shimmer paint, maybe we'll add just a little bit of the champagne mist. going to use some metallic thread, but I remembered the copper has retired. So instead, we will use a little piece of the copper trim, which is just kind of falling off of the spool saying, please use me, please, please. So let's just make a little bow. Just play with it till you are happy with it. That should be good. We'll trim off a little bit. Gorgeous. I'll just pop this guy up on a couple of dimensionals. Looking right at them. Now I don't want to put this down because I'm not sure that it's dry yet, so I'm just gonna pick these off without putting this down. Oh, so pretty. Okay, and then we can just put that there, but before we do that, let's use our Champagne Mist shimmer paint, and this is just 70% rubbing alcohol and the champagne. So this was in the holiday catalog last year, and this one and the Frost White carried over. So just give it a couple little spritzes. And because of the rubbing alcohol, it dries in a snap. Okay, so I'm really blinging this up. This is not my usual, but there are these gorgeous designer elements, and these things are hefty. Like, look how heavy those things are. We're gonna put one of those on as soon as I figure out where this is gonna go. Just grab a glue dot. You can put it on or underneath there. Okay, and I think we're just going to use one of these. These things are pretty substantial. Do we need it? Kind of thinking we don't. I think it's either the bow or this. If that would stick on there, it would be super cute, but I think one is going to be a little weird. Okay, scratch that. But if you don't have these, they are a must. Gold, silver, copper. Love me some mixed metallics. Okay, so let's call that done. On the outside, I decided today that I am no longer doing naked insides of cards or envelopes. We're doing it all at one time. Because I sat and stamped all my cards with my Stamped AF stamp, and then I put them into a plain old envelope, and I'm like, nope, can't do this anymore. Can't be done. Okay, so this is just an A2 size Whisper White card base. So we will glue that on there. You're not going to see the white on the front, but you could trim down your mat a little bit if you want. It'd be tricky at this point to do that, but if you want your mat to be a little bit smaller, give her. Oh, that Champagne Mist is just so pretty. I wish you could see the impact of it in person. And I would invite you, if you do make this card or something similar, if you can tag me on Instagram or Facebook, I would love to see your version. Okay, almost there. Let's put a couple of things away. So this is Whisper White, so we don't need an insert in here. We're just gonna stamp this thing. And I think using Sahara sand, I'm gonna stamp it off so that it's really subtle. We're just gonna do one right there. So Season of Thanks, and there's a beautiful sentiment that we can put in here. I'm gonna leave that on there for the envelope. And then we will use soft suede for the sentiment. May this season bring you smiles and love that will last all year. Beautiful. So we're just gonna stamp it right on there. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then because I sell my stamps at craft sales, I have to, this is the Angel policy, so it says that it's copyright Stampin' Up. So no more doing all of this as I sit on the floor watching TV. I'm doing it every single time. If you see me slip, then say, hey Ashley, what are you doing? Okay, so we're just going to use Sahara sand on the envelope. We'll do one light one down there. And there we go. So that is all for today, my crafty friends. I hope that if you hadn't thought of the Come Together suite before, that I have convinced you. If you live in Canada and would like to order the Creativity Without Borders Class to Go kit, where we make 8 cards, 2 each of 4 different designs, 2 designed by me and 2 designed by Kelly Atchison, then click the link below. I will have the link to order. All you have to do is fill out the form and I will send you a PayPal invoice. You have until September 13th to do that, and then kits will ship on September 21st. And if you live locally and would like to attend my Come Together class, that is next Saturday, September 14th, whoops, sorry, at my house. So just head over to Facebook and you can get all of the event details there. And just one final look at the stamp set and the dies while we're there. So these ones cut and emboss in one go. So it's just gorgeous. And then I didn't show you the DSP. I don't want to use the DSP every time I create with. I think that's nice so that you can just use cardstock. But this DSP is gorgeous. The colors, the textures, patterns, you're gonna love it. So if you have any questions, just email me at stampedaf@gmail.com, and we will see you soon, my crafty friends. Bye.